Hello and welcome back to more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom, where last time we began our adventures in the Mermalair, and today we'll be finishing up those adventures by continuing onward deeper into the Mermalair on our mission to shut down the security systems so that we can actually regain control of the Mermalair. So let's head to the Mermalair security tunnel and continue that quest.
Gary, I see you've made your way down to the deepest recesses of the Mermalair. Oh, you took the elevator. Oh, how do I get to the top of this room? You're right. I bet those tunnels will take me up to the top. Good thinking, Gary.
Alright, so there's not much to this level. Put it simply, all we gotta do is just make our way through the tunnels. And that's about all we have to do. So we just gotta work our way through the tunnels. There's gonna be a lot of disco floors coming up ahead that we're gonna have to make our way across. Again, as a gentle reminder, the yellow tiles are dangerous because they're about to turn red, but they won't inherently do damage to you. The only tiles that are actually going to do damage to you are the red ones, so you want to make sure you steer clear of those at all costs. White ones are safe, yellow ones are dangerous, meaning, hey, we're about to turn red, please don't step on me. But if you do, I won't hurt you until I turn red, and then red ones, of course, will do a lot of damage, so, or I mean, they'll do 1 hit point of damage, but for things like this where the whole floor, almost the whole floor is red, you really want to make sure you're careful with where you're jumping so that you don't accidentally step on any red tiles, because there's a lot of tiles there that could easily do damage to you. And we have a couple power generators here that you want to make sure you jump between like this. I recommend turning the camera in this direction so you can more clearly see where they are, so you don't accidentally jump into them. And then there's a purple shiny object right here we can get if we just gonna kind of jump our way out to it and then bounce our way up like this. You may take a couple hits trying to get it because obviously you have to stop in the middle of the floor to reposition yourself so you can jump up to it. But you know, if you're up for if you're up for taking a couple hit points, I'd say it's worth it to get the purple shiny object, because of course those are extremely high valuable. But if you want some good news, after today we're finally going to be I'm finally going to be showing off those grinding methods that I talked about earlier in the walkthrough that'll make collecting shiny objects significantly easier, and we're going to knock out all Mr. Krabs' spatulas in the next episode. Every single one of them we're going to grind to get so many shiny objects, and then we'll be done with Mr. Krabs' spatulas for the rest of the game. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be getting a lot of spatulas in the next episode. We're going to do a lot of work. But of course, before we can do that, we need to finish up our adventures in this Mermalair. Oh, okay, we are at 1 hit point. That's less than ideal. Anyway, third button is going to be right over here that we can press, the third of the 4. Now what we want to do is head over to this clam right here and feed it 2,100 shiny objects to activate a little mini platform challenge to collect another sock, the third of the 4 socks available in the Mermalair. There's only 4 socks in the Mermalair, believe it or not. So basically, this one is pretty self-explanatory. Just walk your way across the conveyor belts, steering clear of any enemies that kind of float back and forth like this. And as long as you steer clear of all of them and jump over them when appropriate, it's like right here, I recommend waiting for it to pass by, and then jump over it like this. Jump here. I recommend jumping around it, so once it passes here, jump around it like this, jump around it like this, and then jump your way over to the sock. And then because we activated the teleport box before, we can safely jump down here and hop into this box in order to warp ourselves back up to the top, instead of risking having to jump our way to essentially backtrack through that challenge. You don't have to do that. You can just backtrack through the challenge normally. Because we had 1 hit point, it was safer to just drop down to the bottom of the level and take the teleport box up to the top. But however you got back here, we can collect our golden spatula and then head into the Mermalair rolling ball area, which is quite infamous, let me tell you. Okay, so this area has caused quite a bit of frustration in terms of both people just playing casually, or if you're a video game journalist, you think it's the worst thing ever created.
Look, boy, there's gold under that glass. Gold, I say. My eyes are getting sweaty just looking at it. All you have to do is get that great big ball into that there cup.
How do I get the ball rolling, Mr. Krabs?
You start the process by bubble bowling up this ramp to hit that button. Good luck, Spongebob. My wallet's counting on you.
So, you may recognize this area, specifically this particular spot, from the rehydrated version because of that one moron at GameSpot who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and couldn't figure out that he just had to take a few steps back. And then he could have solved the puzzle meant for preschoolers to be able to solve. But, you know, game journalists are idiots and they don't know how to play games. This is not news to us. But I'm going to show you a very easy method to take out to clear out the Mermalair ballroom, and it's not even going to be a problem in the slightest. Anyway, first things first, we're going to bubble into this button. This will be the final security override button you need to press. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run you through the entire gauntlet, piece by piece, so that you have a general idea of exactly what we're going to do and when. Then we're actually going to do the run, and I'll show you it in execution. So first, to begin the run, you need to bubble up this right here to hit this button, which will then cause the ball to drop out and run along the rail like this. Then once you do that, you'll head over here and you'll bubble into this thing like so to redirect the... Okay, I missed that, but that's fine. This is why we're doing a practice run, so that we can redirect the rail so that it will allow the ball to keep on moving along. And then once it gets to a certain point, I say once you see it cross over from where you can see there's a kind of a point where the two rails connect each other, like right here. Once it passes that point, you're clear to bubble into this thing right here, which will then cause this to lower down, and then the ball will drop into it safely, and then it'll go up around the railing directly above us, like this. It'll loop around for a bit, and then once you see the ball pass over your head, then you can bubble this button right here, which will cause that to flip around, another thing for the ball to catch onto or fall into. And then you can just completely ignore everything, quickly double jump your way up to this ledge, stand on this button right here, and stand here so that the ball will roll across the bridge. Keep on moving on, then move your way over here as quickly as you can. Bubble into this button right here to raise the hammer out of the way. You might get lucky and the hammer just might be out of the way when the ball runs by, but you don't really want to take that chance. You just want to hit it early so that you can get the hammer out of the way, so that there isn't even a chance that it's going to get hit by it. Then once you land over here, you need to slightly tap this side, like slightly tap the, so slightly jump up and down the left side of this thing, so that you can tilt the ball over to the left, and then slam down on the right hand side so that you can fully tilt it around the hole, because it's going to be kind of near the hole. You don't want to tilt it too far to the left, because then it'll fly off the edge entirely, but you don't want to not tilt it enough, because then it'll fall through the hole right here. So you have to tilt it just enough to get it around that hole, then slam over to the right hand side to tilt it back to the right hand side, and fall into this hole right here. But we're still not done yet. Also, there's a stock right back here. You want to get this nice and early so that we can get out of the way. Once you land it in that slot, we're still not done. We have one more thing to do. You have to jump over here, land right next to the fan. We can't do this now because obviously it's not active right now. But once it starts spinning, you can bubble into the button directly behind this fan, and then that will be the Mermalair Ballroom Rolling Ball Gauntlet thing completed. So now we're going to jump on top of here and then ball bash up to get a purple shiny object. And then once you're confident in your ability to pull this off, we can begin the run proper. As a reminder, to get things started, we just gotta bubble our way up to the top to hit that button, then bubble into this thing to redirect the rail into your position, and then keep an eye on when it crosses that line, then release the bubble to flip this down so that it perfectly lines up with when it's gonna drop into the slot. And then you'll see a very long cutscene of the ball being lifted up like so, and dropped up onto the rail. And now there isn't really much we can do except just kind of sit around and wait. Although I do recommend getting yourself into the positions that you're ready to release the bubble when the opportunity arrives. And unlike the game journalist, stand to the back, not to the front, so that you don't fly off the edge. And then once it crosses overhead, bubble into the button so that it'll safely land in its slot. Again, ignore the G-Love, ignore the Tikis, ignore everything. Just jump up here as fast as you possibly can and get yourself onto this platform so that you can easily be here and ready for the ball to cross over the bridge. Once it crosses the bridge, hop off. Ignore this, ignore the fodder, or not ignore it, but bubble off the edge. Bubble this button. Once you get over here, again, slight taps. Just slight taps to the left so that you can just do it just enough to get it around the hole, and slam on the right-hand side so that it'll bump it up and land on that. Then jump over here, bubble the button beneath the fan, and launch the ball into the air so that it'll land on the slot it needs to open up the cage and allow us to grab our golden spatula. As you can see, so long as you actually know what you're doing and you're not an idiot, it's a very easy challenge to complete. But if you're a games journalist, then obviously, you know, taking a couple steps back is kind of beyond your realm of gaming capabilities because you're terrible at your job. Just in case you can tell, I kind of hate GameSpot and just most mainstream reviewers because it's just they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. But you know, there's no news there. Anyway, as long as you follow the step-by-step guide that I've run through, you can do it very, very easily, as long as you know the timing. The key thing that's going to screw you over, honestly, is that last challenge up there. It's just, because a lot of people, what they'll try to do is they'll try to slam down on the left-hand side to get it around the hole, but you don't need to. And that's just going to send the ball flying off the edge. You just got to do a very, very slight tap, just enough to get it around that hole, and then slam down on the right side to finish the job and get it to where the glove is pointing. It's very, very simple as long as you know what you're doing. And as your reward, you can collect your golden spatula. And now that we've pressed all 4 of the Mermalair security override buttons, we can return to the Mermalair computer, and don't worry, we don't have to do any backtracking. We can just head over to where this gate is over here, because this gate is going to take us directly back to the Mermalair security computer, and then we can collect our reward from said computer.
I have regained control of the security system. Here is the reward I promised you. You have pressed all the security buttons. Now press the master shutdown button.
And now, after we collect our golden spatula, we can use the bubble bolt to hit this final master shutdown button. But we're still not done with the Mermalair just yet because we have a boss fight to complete. So let's bubble bowl this to cause the bridge to descend from the sky. And now all we have to do to finish out the Mermalair is to head across this bridge to the villain containment unit and face off against the final boss of the Mermalair. So let's just head over here and prepare for the battle. Just a little bit further to go. Here we go.
Well, the security system has been shut down, and we got a good checkup.
Hooray for justice in all its multi-splendor glory!
Yeah, well, Justice Boy, you also cut the power to the Mermalair's VCS. That's Villain Containment System.
Is that bad?
Does Mermaid Man smell like sour milk?
Yes! Yes, I do!
Oh, no. It looks like one of the villains is broken free.
What's that? An evildoer on the loose? Who is it? Man Ray? The atomic flounder? The dirty bubble?
No, worse than that. He's your archenemy, Prawn.
Prawn!
Did someone call? Oh, I thought maybe I was looking at superheroes. But now I see it's just a couple of pieces of gnarled driftwood.
Prawn! I'll never forgive you, you madman!
What did Prawn do?
The worst thing you can imagine. He put all of Mermaid Man's white clothes in the washer with a red sock.
Everything I own turned pink! Pink!
How horrible!
Personally, I thought pink made you very pretty.
Really?
Sure, pretty stupid. Yikes. What is that yellow thing? Some kind of mold?
I'm not mold, I'm a sponge. There's a cellular difference. A cellular difference!
Yeah, thanks for the lesson, Dr. Science. See you later, Pinky.
By the 7 seas, Prawn, I shall not rest until you are captured. But first, I shall have to change from my secret identity into Mermaid Man.
You don't have a secret identity, you old coot. Maybe you better take care of Prawn while I take care of this.
I shall avenge you, Mermaid Man.
Alright, here comes the boss battle against Prawn himself, and it's a pretty easy one. Basically, all you have to do is he has a little sonic wave blast machine it's going to try to hit you with. It's pretty easy to dodge, just kind of keep running around. He'll eventually catch up to you with it, but once he does, you can just kind of double jump over it like this. It's not that hard to dodge. Then, eventually, the tiles will stop shifting around. There'll be a clear path you can bubble bowl down like this. You can't bubble bowl across any of the red tiles. You have to wait for the tiles to turn white. Then you can bubble bowl across them. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You just gotta get 3 hits in, and then you're done. Again, wait for the sonic wave to catch up to you, then double jump over it like this. And also try to make sure to bubble bowl into or just straight up attack any hammers you'll find across the way. Wait for the tiles to turn to a solid white color, and then bubble bowl across them so that you can safely do damage to him like this. Oh boy, okay, almost got hit. That was close. I stayed on the yellow tiles a little bit too long, but I still managed to avoid taking damage, which is good. Only one more hit to go, and then we'll be done with the boss battle. Not too shabby, I mean, it's not a horrible boss battle, it's not a great boss battle, but the most important thing is that it's not too hard. It's pretty simple, it's over nice and quick, and then we can move along our merry little way, and it looks like this sonic wave blast machine is almost done. Here we go. Alright, wait for the tiles to turn solid, and there we go, final hit.
No, not again. This is not fair. I got a frozen wedgie for this. Is this the end of Prawn?
Prawn is safely locked away again, thanks to you, Frankie.
My name's Spongebob.
Here, I found this in my sock drawer. next to a bunch of pink socks. It's another golden spatula.
Thank you, Mermaid Man. I shall always live my life by your shining example. Let goodness and kindness...
Are you still here?
And with that, the Mermalair is now 100% complete. We've collected all 4 socks, all 8 golden spatulas, and we are cleared to return to the Bikini Bottom and go collect our reward for having 10 socks from Patrick, because as you can see we have 11 socks, which means we have one more than enough to trade in 10 of those socks for a spatula from Patrick. And then we'll be done with this episode, and then we'll come back tomorrow. We'll start up the final section of, or the final level in the second part of Bikini Bottom. But more importantly than that is it's when we're going to begin our grinding. And by begin, I mean it'll take so little time, you won't even notice it. Ordinarily, trying to grind for shiny objects is a big pain in the butt. But I do have some surefire methods to make it significantly easier. I actually have 3 different methods of grinding for shiny objects. That you're free to choose from at your disposal. But we'll cover all that in tomorrow's episode. For now, we're just gonna head back to Bikini Bottom and go collect our reward from Patrick, who's waiting for us right over there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Spongebob to make traversing the area just a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and turn back here and go get that reward.
Wow, SpongeBob, you found some!
Now they're back home, safe where they belong.
Here's your golden back scratcher.
Spatula.
I don't speak Italian.
And that'll be it for now. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more SpongeBob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!